Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today is my witchy review. So I'm going to be talking about Lucifer, the TV series, not the devil himself or what perceived devil, but kind of, sort of, a little bit. And then I'm going to be talking about first the Goddess Provision box that I got. Finally, I had actually gotten a notice from them. They said that they had sent it out a little bit later than usual, the box. So, it is what it is, right? But I got the box and I'm quite excited. So I've got the little card that it comes with. First of all, look at okay, let me just be clear. I love a good kit, a box. Um, you know, if you put the word kit behind it and there's a couple different items, I'm probably gonna get it. I'm one of those people who go into Michael's and you know how they have the little toys and things for the kids, and it's like, oh, make your own crystals, or um, make your jewelry and things like that, make candles, make soap. Like, there's a part of me that still wants those things even now, even though they're for kids, because it's fun. I love a kit. Anyway, look, so it comes with this, and here are the details on the back. And, this is what it looks like. All may be transformed and renewed. I love this. I don't know. This makes me happy getting these Goddess Provision boxes. So if you watch my video I posted earlier this week on resources, I talk about Goddess Provision in that company Provisions, and how awesome they are. So I really like them. Antoinette Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry says, hello, hello. I'm going to listen while sorting, but I love Lucifer. He challenged the human weakness. Now which Lucifer you talking about? You talking about the show, or you talking about the Lucifer? And if you are, it's cool. Which one? I'm just curious. I'm talking about the TV show, but I don't know the other Lucifer. I don't really go down that road, but I'm gonna get into that. But I'm glad that you at least hopefully watch it too. I love that show. I'm just going to tell you that now. But anyway, I want to tell you about this box. So the things it came with this week or this month. So it comes with the Alchemy Visions pouch. This mystifying pouch changes colors when you touch it. It's decorated with alchemical symbols to remind you of your magical mastery. That'd be this. So I'm touching it. It says changes colors when you touch it. Oh yeah, it's changing colors. See, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive with it. This show being British, okay, it's cool. Anyway, it is changing colors, so that's cool. It's starting to, it wasn't like this before, so I'm just gonna like hold the edges. So this is and I like this, like how you pull it open, and it's just a pouch. That's it. It's just a pouch. I opened the box to look to see what was in there, but I didn't like mess with it too much because I wanted to be excited for this. But I will be using this stuff today because I'm going to full moon ritual. But check it. Nice little, this is nice. I'm trying to think what I'll put in here. I'll figure it out. But isn't it nice though? It's nice. So that's this. And so I got the pouch. So the next thing is Chicky Botanica Plant Alchemy Facial Oil. I live in Arizona. This is a great thing. Conduct a beauty ritual with this alkanet root infused blend of antioxidant and nutrient-rich oils. The unique combo of essential oils merged with the essence of pink lotus and ruby to give this formula an extra touch of alchemy. Mind you, you can go to the Goddess Provision and buy these individual items. It was awesome this month. Hey, the Princess Diaries. Yes, this is awesome. First of all, I haven't even gotten to the smell. This box smells so good. If you like cinnamon, the earthy scent, it smells good. It's hard to show, but here's the bottle. With the light right now, and I know I'm not doing it. What's the best way? I don't know. I'm not doing it justice, but yeah, it says here, Chica Botanica, and it's like black, and you're supposed to see clear. It's hard to see the label, but anyway. This is a facial oil, so I just washed my hands, so this is a good time. Oh, that smells good. See, I like that scent, so I'm just put a little bit on my hand. So you can see it's not like running down, so it's not like super runny. I like that. I like the way it feels. Okay, time to put on my hands. Just a little bit, just because my hands were dry from the soap. Um, Getting the corners. Anyway, but I like that. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I'm getting, all right, so my hands are like super dry from that soap now that I'm looking at them. So if I put this on my face, like it's not going to be greasy. I can, you know, it's absorbing. It's absorbing into my skin. So that's, and the scent is not overpower. There's a little bit of gardenia. I don't know what's in there, but anyway, it's not overpowering. It's good, but it's pleasant. It's a nice scent. Something you, if it's on your face, you wouldn't mind, but it's not like sickly. It's so that's good to know. So a nice little magical facial, great full moon, part of a full moon ritual. The next thing is the loose leaf tea strainer. When I saw the preview about this box or sneak peek, I was like, okay. So it comes in this box, but I kept it in here. Like I said, I wanted to sort of keep everything together. So this is the tea strainer. Check this out. So this obviously comes out so you can clean it, but it pops in. Isn't that cute? I'm going to use mine on candles too. Oh, okay. Oh, this. Oh, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Making it into like an anointing oil. But isn't this nice? This is actually really nice. Just kind of letting you see how thick the wood is. This is the back side. So this is, you would put it over your cup, obviously. And it's a tea strainer. So that's nice. So now let me see what they say about this. Loose leaf tea strainer. This cherry wood strainer is made with food grade stainless steel and embellished with mystical designs to delight your spirit. Pour a cup of tea and soak up the magic of herbal allies. So I'm definitely in with that. The next thing is the dirty rose chai. Kind of excited about. Oh my god, this smells so good. This is what's smelling so good, by the way. This right here. Look at this. First of all, this is a good amount. I don't know why I'm like squeezing the heck out of this. So it's 100% vegan, plant-based, and adaptogenic, alchemical, handcrafted, high vibrational. So it tells you directions. Add 1 teaspoon to your choice of tea, latte, juice, smoothie, or plant-based meal. Use 1 to 2 times daily for optimal or optimum effects. So yeah, here's the back. So they do give you that information. So yeah, dirty rose chai herbal supplement. Collagen booster. So support your hair, nails, bones, and skin with this beautifying brew. It's the perfect synthesis of 100% plant-based collagen, adaptogenic herbs, and spices to support digestive ease. Perfect timing because I need this right now. I'm, looking for something like that. So I'm looking for. I'm going to use this today. Full disclosure, I sat on this box. I wanted to open everything up, but I wanted to show y'all. So I waited. So the next thing is the Holy Santa Red Rose Petals. I'm saying that wrong, but my apologies. Here you go. This. So these, which I'm going to open, this herb is sacred to the goddess and known to attract love, enhance beauty, and promote harmony. Use as directed for your spell work, altar magic, culinary concoctions, and ritual baths or sacred charms. So if you were wondering, can I use this in food? Yes, you can. And I'm giving it to you to smell. Look, y'all right here to me, okay? Anyway, so yeah, it smells like roses, smells like dried roses, smells pleasant. I like it. So you have this now. So you can do this with food if you so choose to. If you want to put it like in teas and things like that, if you want to add to it, you could definitely do that. Because they're saying here culinary concoction. So I don't think they would, the company, so far I feel really positive about the company. I don't think that they would like put something in here. You're using the powder to dress candles too. Well, that's interesting. Okay. And what's the significance of using the powder to dress it? Like, I guess whatever the benefits are that you would consume, the assumption is that you're putting the energy onto the candles and into the overall spell. I'm assuming, right? Yeah. um, but yeah, these red rose petals also, you can, wrap this up onto your roll your candle into these dried rose petals as well. So there is that. But I like knowing that this is also edible as an option if I want to get it. I had bought some dried flowers, but I didn't check to see if they were edible. And I could go back and look, but I don't remember anything specifically saying it was or wasn't, which if you don't tell me it can be, then I'm not going to consume it because, chemicals and all that sort of stuff. But this is perfect for some serious self-love work, self-love magic and things like that. If you want to, bring that into your full moon rituals, remember about the full moon. Technically Thursday, I believe, was the full moon, but anytime I say coming up to 3 days before and 3 days after, at least in my practice, those times are still very valid. So tonight is still very valid. And if you want to do a full moon ritual or something like that. All right. So Fairy Crystal Oracle Pack. I did look through these because why would I not? They're loose now, but these are the Oracle pack that they gave me. So it's these 6 cards. Attune to your elemental guardians for healing energy. Intuitively pull a card to see which stone and vibration will help you find the magic within. So, yes, I'll research the correspondence. Of course, I know you are. So look at this one. This is rose quartz. So this is the oracle card that came with. It says, self-love and compassion. So this is a good time. Maybe have this card handy. Intentionally choose it as you sit down, maybe, and put it on your altar for self-love and things like that. That's great. They have smoky quartz for protection. I love the imagery on the cards. They have amethyst intuition. I'm loving these cards. I just want to be very clear how much I love this. Watermelon tourmaline. Oh my God, I love this one. Look at that one. Heart healing. Citrine for abundance. Okay, doing some of that type of work, have this available. And aquamarine courage. I love aquamarine. Okay, so these are the cards, and this is the other side of the card, if you can see. And these are the cards. This is the Fairy Crystal Oracle Pack. It's just these 6 cards. They didn't, nothing more. And then finally, the other thing is, it came like this, but I did open it up because I wanted to know, a black obsidian pyramid. So this stone formed from rapid cooling of lava. Let me get that out. Yeah. What did I get on here? Piece of the paper. Is that me or is this marked this way? I think it's, we'll get to that later. I think some of the paper, something scratched up, but here you go. The black obsidian. Here's the bottom. So it says, this stone formed from the rapid cooling of lava. Its healing energy helps illuminate darkened areas of the subconscious to reveal hidden truths. And then, and there is something else that's said here. It says, Ayurvedic herb guide. With reverence to plants and generations of wisdom, discover 10 Ayurvedic herbs and learn how to, each one can support you. And there's a download for that, which I realized I didn't download. So I'm going to get that. But that was everything that was in my Goddess Provision box this month. I used this already. I had a migraine that just went on. Yes, those cards. Oh, aren't they? I love the cards. I just took just a little bit on the side of the point and rubbed it on my head and was hoping it was just clear whatever is going on. Enlighten me, Black Obsidian. I hadn't blessed it or done anything with it. We'll get the other packs of cards over upcoming month that creates a full deck. Oh, really? I figured as much, but I totally appreciate these. I like these a lot. And you know what? Isn't that great? Again, going back to my resources video, isn't it great to start off with something like this if you don't really have much in your witchy cabinet, you haven't really built one, but you are still practicing, a practitioner, you just don't have stuff for whatever reason. Maybe you couldn't have stuff and now you can. So Isn't it great having something like this, and then you can build, you can take the time to really like sit with these cards and understand them and learn them and develop some sort of relationship with just these 6 cards. And think it doesn't come with like a book on what this means. These is more like oracle, so like what you see is what it is, what you it resonates to you is what it is, and obviously they give meaning here at the bottom. But isn't that nice to be able to do that? This pyramid is huge, and it's kind of heavy, guys. It's got some weight to it, Um, this is nice. This is real nice. This is real nice. I like the idea of this going on another altar that I'm about to set up. Spoiler, I might share that. I might not. I don't know. I'm funny with the altar thing. I like to get you to a point. But this one, I think, is going to be kind of really simple. So I don't know if I can get you to the point without showing you basically everything. But I think this is going on one of my new altars that I know I'm creating. So that is everything that came in the actual box. I really like this company. Thank you, The Princess Diaries, for like really kind of making it so delightful and sound so awesome that I kind of had no choice but to actually subscribe. I appreciate that. You said that's exactly why I subscribed. This subscription really helped me build my practice for real. Yeah, I could see that. It really, yeah, this is like, I've been getting into making oils. I have purchased oils from like a Botanica, living here too. And those oils work well, but come on, I like to do my own thing and practice and making my own. But I'm okay with this. I'm okay with having, what's my witchy cabinet? I like to have options, the things that I've made, yes, and sometimes you don't have the thing and you already bought it and you can use that instead. That's one of the cool things about witchcraft. But I love the box. I love what I got in it. So I want to talk about Lucifer. I have notes down on my screen, so if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. So yeah, I want to talk about Lucifer and get into this subject of this show. Okay, so Lucifer is currently a Netflix series. It started off, I believe, on Fox. From the beginning, I was, I wanted to watch it. When I saw the advertising for it, it looked interesting to me, so I started watching it. And basically, it's what you think it is. Lucifer Morningstar is his name. And he's basically tired of being in hell. He's tired of, that's how the show opens up. I had to actually rewatch season 1 so I can make sure I'm fresh with this information. And I won't give it away if you haven't watched it, but basically it's based on the Bible stories. So, he's a fallen angel, and he was, in hell torturing, these souls and so forth that went to hell. And he no longer wanted to do that. He found a way out, and hell has sort of been running itself. It's like on autopilot, basically, as he's taken a bit of a vacation to the earthly plane. And, he was getting into his experience of the earthly pleasures and so forth. He loves drinking alcohol. He's incredibly handsome, devilishly handsome. He can sing, he can dance. He's got the British accent, which I love that, by the way, for some reason. And why would he have an American accent, right? Like, we're a young country. I think sometimes when people watch movies and things like that, and we think, like, we're an imaginary world anyway, but you're thinking of Lucifer, well, I would think he would sound like either he was in the Middle East somewhere or he would have a British almost accent. I don't know. That's what I think in my head. So it made sense to me that they would have an actor with one. So yeah, Lucifer is, basically living life. He makes deals with people. Now, Lucifer has many names, the Prince of Lies. The way that this Lucifer is characterized is that he doesn't lie. Let me phrase that. He doesn't lie. So if you ask him a question, he's going to tell you the truth. Lucifer doesn't lie. So if he says, I hate you, he really does hate you. If he says, I love you, he really does love you. His plane, being on the earthly plane and, having that experience, he's coming across, humanity and the ugly side of humanity, how you end up getting into hell to begin with. So there's a murder that occurs with someone who came to him and asked him for a favor, like a deal with the devil type thing. So someone made a deal with him, Lucifer, and this is like the first scene, the first show, the pilot, and there's a murder. So he and Detective Chloe, by the way, Lucifer is played by Tom Ellis, beautiful man, and Lauren German is Detective Chloe. She is Chloe Decker. She is the love interest in the storyline. So a couple things. The show is about basically them. It's a cop show, basically, or mystery type thing, murder mystery, where there's usually a murder and they solve it, usually within that one show. It's nowhere near like, Law and Order SVU. It's not on that level. However, it is, it's good. You could watch it weekly when it came out weekly and really get into it. I did. But yeah, there's other casting characters as well. So when Lucifer came up from hell, he brought along one of his demons, and that was Maze, but Mazikeen is her full demon name. And she is played by Leslie Ann Brandt. So she's a beautiful woman. I think that woman is so attractive, by the way. Beautiful brown caramel skin. She's so pretty. Anyway, but she's what you think a demon would be. She enjoyed inflicting pain on people. That didn't stop just because she's on an earthly plane. She still kind of gets off on doing that. Love that. And then Chloe's ex-husband, they're separated when the show first starts, the pilot episode, and he's part of it, and he's a bit of an issue for Lucifer. And then, Amanadel, that's another angel, who's Lucifer's brother, is played by D.B. Woodside. Love his character and how his character arc. I like that whole situation. And there's a therapist involved, Linda Martin, played by Rachel Harris, and it just kind of builds out from there. I won't go into every character that's on there, the main characters, but the point is, Lucifer basically is having earthly experiences, good and bad, and he becomes more vulnerable the longer he has this relationship with Detective Chloe Decker, because it's inevitable, and as the seasons progress, you understand it's inevitable because it was by design for him to have this sort of relationship and connection with Chloe. And I won't spoil that for you. Now I'm kind of just giving you an about. If you've watched the last season, I don't want to give away too many spoilers if you have not, but they took a very interesting turn of events. They introduced they introduced God. God comes down to the earthly plane. And that's an interesting storyline, because you would wonder, well, if this presence has reduced himself into like flesh and bone, what's happening in heaven? Like, what, in the same way, if hell is sort of running itself, and by the way, there's some consequences to that. What happens if heaven does, God leaves heaven, and there's consequences to that. So that's a very interesting storyline that they explored with that as well. What I like about Lucifer watching it is I love the idea of them willing to take this character that people are scared of or hate or despise, or in a very serious manner, religiously speaking, taught to stay away from. And I know that Fox got a lot of hate about this show, and I don't know if that had anything to do with why it got eventually canceled, when I thought the show was actually pretty good. And listen, Netflix picked it up. When they picked it up, they add a little bit more risque elements to it, but they didn't go full, blown like I had wanted them to. With that show, come on, it's a show called Lucifer. You expect to see a little bit more of something, but they keep it still, to me, like it still could be on TV for the most part. What I love about it is they make this character so lovable. Yes, he's a lot of things. He, says things he shouldn't say. Doesn't really think like the rest of us humans, and he'll refer to the rest of us as humans, very much separating himself. He's immortal for the most part. And, he can't really be hurt for the most part. There's more about that if you watch it. So, if you have that sort of attitude, then, you might not care, right? About the petty human things. It's always a quick solution to him. But he does get angry. And I don't want to give too much away, but there's a specific physical thing that happens when he does get angry or when he wants to punish someone. You see that. On the flip side, he has wings, angel wings, or he did have them. He cut them off. Remember, he's the fallen angel, so he was an angel. So all these other angels and these names that come from the Bible, like they make an appearance on the show. I think that's pretty cool. And they're like, they have these personalities, and not everyone is nice. Not all the angels are nice. It reminded me of Charlene Harris's book and then series that they did, which I loved it. It's something Midnight, Town of Midnight. I forget the name of it. But if you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. I love that. They're in there. There's like vampires, witches, it's all of that sort of stuff. And that was also, I think that might have been on Fox. I'm not sure. Something Midnight. I'll look for it while I'm talking. I can't remember the freaking name of that series. It's a book series, which I loved. And then they made it into a show. Charlene. Harris. Maybe if I do it like this. It's bugging me. I gotta know. Forgive me. Midnight Crossroad. No, what is Midnight Texas series. That's what it was. Come on, let me look at this book. Yeah, Midnight Texas series. So it's like a town in a fictional place called Midnight, and it's like a place where various magical creatures inhabit. It doesn't look like much, but it's a little community of witches, shapeshifters, ghosts, all kinds of stuff. And I loved that series that they were doing. And then they canceled that because, I don't know, all the good stuff gets canceled, I think, sometimes. But anyway, Midnight Texas was what it was. But in that series, she wrote in the books, and they showed, I think there was some scenes on the actual show, where the angels, they were fallen angels, and the angels were not nice. One of them, he didn't want to be an angel anymore, so he would go out flying, but he didn't like being an angel. And he had lived, for a very long time, and one of the sister angels or whatever came looking for him, and it wasn't a good thing. Like, they weren't nice and positive and sweet. So there's a lot of lore around angels and things like that, and they're not always as nice as people kind of put them out to be, like what we tell kids. Oh, your guardian angel. All right, that's one of them. The rest of them maybe not so nice. But I like that about the series. I like Lucifer, the way that they kind of, I don't know, introduce these different characters occasionally, these angels. Eve came on one of the series, so there's a whole storyline with Eve. And that's a really interesting one as well. The story of Eve. And Cain was on there, of Cain and Abel. That was good. So yeah, I think Lucifer is a very interesting show. I think it takes those themes and it makes it fun. I mean, to me, I put it all in the myth category, so I find it entertaining. All right. So what I don't like about Lucifer, I don't like that people seem to take everything so literally about it. At least when it was on like network TV, like Fox. I remember seeing something, but in my personal like Facebook page, somebody I know was like, oh, it's the end of times because, they're making TV shows, making the devil likable, making him relatable. Like, is that where we are now? And I'm like, okay, well, I know I'm not, they take it all very seriously, but that is not what was happening. But anyway, or maybe it was. I don't know. They did make the devil likable on there, but I think that in the same way with the Nas X video, and people were kind of freaking out. It's like, so wait, do you literally think that's a fiction-based view of the devil and hell and all that sort of stuff? So like, for you to be offended, that means you actually believe it looks like that. All of that is real, like in that way. I don't know. That's strange to me that you actually really think that's real. Oh, they did have Lilith on the show. You said they should have Lilith on the show. Also, I don't want to give too much away because this is like throughout all the seasons. I think we're on season 5 or 6. Whatever it was, I watched the last one that Netflix put out. I binged it immediately. But they did Lilith. Yeah, she has a role during the seasons on there. So definitely check that out. So, of course, I mean, there's a lot of material if you think about the Bible, again, from a mythic point of view. There's a good amount of stories to really write from and to really keep expanding this whole Lucifer world and dynamic of all that. And you can come up with a lot of plot lines because it's a lot. It's a lot to go with. But we'll see, because some people are saying there will be another season. Some people saying it's going to be canceled. I don't know what Netflix is doing, but I hope they keep it coming. I love the character. I like the progression, the growth in his character. It's on point because he is the devil and he spent so many years in, crazy amount of time being in hell, being part of torturing souls. And now he, as the series progresses, he becomes vulnerable. And the question of, can he love? He's been told he can't, but he's also been told he can't enter into heaven. And as you watch the series, something weird like that happens. So that is a spoiler, sorry. So if that can happen, he draws the conclusion that, well, wait, then maybe I can love. And there's a whole thing about that. So cool stories. If you are a witch who does very much like your Bible stories, they don't necessarily overlap into your magic, but you enjoy them. They're from your childhood and you're inspired by them. I think you might like a show like Lucifer because it doesn't, it takes that and just like fan fiction on the Bible stories. Like, what if we produced it and made it a TV show on the Bible? Anyway, it's pretty cool. The other thing I don't enjoy about Lucifer, the series, is because it started off on network TV, it was a little cheesy. And there were some scenes where it felt a little too cheesy. I kind of don't like that. If you watch it, you know what I mean. I mean, my expectations are not super high. But once it got to Netflix, I thought, like I said, they would put more of an edge. They try to, but it still feels like it could be on, on Fox, on regular TV. So there's that. You said, I love Lil Nas X. He's iconic in my opinion. Indeed, I love him. I haven't seen the new thing that he has out where he's basically naked, but I'm going to watch it and probably love it. So T Gucci says, OMG, Lucifer is my favorite show. I needed to come back, right? I already I already started watching season 1, so I'm just going to go ahead and just keep going through them. So that's my new thing that I'm binging as well. I am always watching something on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or HBO Max or Disney. Yeah, I got all the streams. Apple makes it very easy for me. I have an Apple TV, so it makes it very easy for me to just go ahead and sign up. And it's like, oh, it's only $6.99. You don't see it. Oh, this one's less than $10. Oh, this one's only $14. So it seems small, but if you add them all together, you start to see, oh, I'm paying a real bill when I put all these streaming services together. However, I truly enjoy watching all of the different shows that I come across. And you know what? If I find that I'm not watching, like I think we had DC Comics. That was a streaming service. And I just stopped it because why am I paying separately for this when no one's really watching it? It's like basically comic books and you're watching it on your TV or, your computer, wherever you're watching it from. And I don't care. I will be watching Loki on Disney. They're Disney Plus. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and I will be doing a review on that. I will definitely that'll piggyback off of my Ragnarok review, because I really kind of dig that whole Norse mythology. So I will definitely go down that road. So if anybody has watched Loki and you were looking for a place to sort of talk about it, I'll be doing a live, and we can go back and forth about it. And I'll give you some time, because it's coming. I just got to start binging it. But first, I'm going to finish Lucifer, because I've already started it. Yeah, so there's not like, yeah, so back to what I was saying. I don't like the cheese. It's kind of cheesy. I don't like that about it. It's yeah, I ignore it, because I really like the series and I like the characters. There were some plot points that I didn't love. I don't want to say I didn't like them, but I didn't love them. And whenever a character gets pregnant in the middle of a series after it's been running for a bit of time, I'm always like, that's like, sometimes it can be the jump the shark moment in a TV show about to get canceled once they start bringing in little kids. There is a character who gets pregnant. I don't want to give away too much, because I'm encouraging you to watch the show. But if you haven't, or if you started and you didn't get that far into it, there is a character, she gets pregnant, and I don't know, ultimately, it seemed like it was going to mean something more in the story, but as it went on, I really didn't get the point of, why did we have to do this? Why did she have to be pregnant? Why did she have to have a baby? Like, what? For that little bit of a plot point, it didn't feel like it was enough. I felt like it wasn't substantial enough to warrant now me as the viewer have to factor in that these two characters have this baby now, and the implications of that. Like, I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. And then I felt like in the last season, specifically, the father of this baby, I just felt like, so he was supposed to be going through this like thing about whether or not the child would be also, supernatural, basically, like him, or like the mother, who was human, which is unheard of, by the way, for an angel to mate with a human. Supposedly, it's forbidden, or it can't be done, or something along those lines. Apparently, it can be done. But of course, that makes me think about like Greek mythology. And you think about how, those gods, those deities, they would hook up with women all the time. A lot of them, the gods did, and create these little demigods. And if you if you believe in that mythology, like if that's part of your spirituality, you might believe, hey, I come from a line of that. That's why we're powerful, or we have these specific powers, or things like that. But I don't know enough. I don't remember enough if in Christian mythology, if they talk about angels mating with humans. I don't think so, right? I don't remember that. I think that would have stood out to me, because when I was in my days of like studying that sort of stuff, that would have like really appealed to me, wanting to understand more about that. But I don't think so. Okay, so the Princess Diaries, she said, we dropped cable for multiple streaming services. I could, right? And then T. Gucci again says, I agree, but I'm hoping that they play with the idea of Nephilim. What's Nephilim? I forget. What is that? Remind me. I'm seeing the words and I know, but I can't think fast enough. I could Google, but I'm trying not to look on my phone and do this at the same time. So if you could tell me in the comments, that'd be awesome. Thank you, though. I know, but why am I blanking? I don't know. But anyway, is there a story of the angels mating with humans? I don't remember, but I like I like the idea of them kind of going into that. But I don't see the point on that particular plot point during the series. But this is way late in the series. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you started it and said, oh, you were going to get back to it, and you watch this and now you're going to watch it, don't worry about it. I'm not giving anything away, because you're not going to see it coming. Sons of God come to the daughters of men. Oh, okay. I'll look that up. I don't know. I like lore and mythology and all that sort of stuff. Just for my own personal knowledge, I like to understand this. And just learn a little bit more. But that's another thing about Lucifer. So if you were like me, you're not a Bible thumper, obviously. I'm a practicing witch, some witches are Bible I don't know how that's possible, but I'm not going to get into that. But if you're not someone who actively is reading a Bible, but you're watching the show, and it kind of makes you think a little bit about some of this sort of stuff because you remember it growing up. You remember hearing stories maybe as an adult back in the day when you used to go to church with your mom or something and your parents or what have you. If you It makes you kind of want to rethink it. Now, I'm not going to go and search for Bible passages. There is a Bible somewhere in my house. I know we have one, or two around here. Yeah, we have some, in the house, but, I would probably just like search. By the way, check out my phone case. I would probably just search online, like that Bible verse for such and such, such and such. I would look like that. But isn't this cute? Amazon Chill Pills. I love my phone case. This is the 12 Pro Max, by the way, that I have. So this is what it looks like in the front, if you're curious. um, but yeah, the other things, like I said, it's the show itself, the cheesiness, certain plot points, like the baby thing, didn't see the purpose of that. Um, They do. I don't want to give too much away. They're again in the later seasons. They introduce a character, and I just don't get the point of this. I feel like Michael, an angel, Michael, yeah, Archangel, is it Archangel or Archangel, Angle, Archangel or Archangel. I know, is it with a K or the CH sound? I don't know. I don't call the Michael and all the other ones, by the way, the Guardians. And when you cast a circle, when I first started doing Wicca, I looked at that and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I didn't. I'll call elemental, energy for protection. But I don't reference like those angels and all that sort of stuff. Archangel. Yeah, it's arc with a K, right? Like with a K sound. I'll wait for y'all to tell me because now I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. Anyway, but yeah, I never really got into that. But there's a character on the series that comes in, and I don't get the point. Like, I feel like, again, that plot point was a waste of my time. Yes, they did things around it, but I felt like we could have had all those things happen and it didn't have, like, the character was annoying and I just wanted it to go away. Thank you with a K. Arc. Okay. I'm like, is Arc. Thanks. I do wish, T Gucci says she wishes that Lilith played a bigger role. I do too. I felt like that was an opportunity. She, I don't want to give too much away. She's there and present for some time, during a particular season, but, or maybe it was more than one season. I don't remember. But the point is, I just felt like it could have been so much more and explored with that. But, people are weird about going into that too much. I guess they felt like they were being offensive enough with Lucifer walking around Earth, and people actually falling in love with him and liking him. Maybe that was pushing the envelope. I don't know. I would have loved to see that. I think, and this is how I think as somebody who thinks of stories, I think of all this sort of stuff and I'm like, man, I would love to see, this type of story. Like I could see it in my mind, scenes playing out of like, what would that look like? What would, if we just told the entire story of Lilith, not in some cheesy way, like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which was good. I love that show, by the way, but which is now canceled. But they explored Lilith a lot there. I kind of like that, but wouldn't it be nice to just like have her storyline, like a show just about her and all that, and just like build that out? I would love to watch that, or read a book like that, or write a book like that. Although I really don't think about biblical characters very much, but like that's something I would explore. It would be fun to me to expand her range and sort of go a little bit deeper in the what ifs. Well, what if it was this? What if she was really this? I've heard everything about Lilith, to her being like she is the original witch, to she created, if you watch True Blood, Lilith, they talked about her being the first vampire. It's a lot tied to her. But that's what I mean, like a whole thing, not where she's like introduced into some ever evolving story or series, but like it's just about her. Give Lilith her just due. But yeah, those just the thing. My things I don't love so much are the plot. Some of the plot points. But I'm 99% in love with the show. It's just that 1% of those little plot points that kind of annoy me. Like I said, and some of the cheesiness of it, especially the first 4 seasons. The first 4 seasons are what was on Fox. And that you'll see if you watch it. You're like, oh, I know what she's talking about. I mean, it feels real for TV, so not so fun. Some parts are not so awesome. Why I would suggest it is because I think that it's one of those shows, again, most of us probably were brought up in or around like Christian ideology. Even if you didn't fully buy in as a kid, you were maybe told to go to church, with your grandmom at least or something like that. So you probably have some familiarity with these concepts and these angels. You at least heard some of these names before. It doesn't seem foreign, and it might be interesting to kind of just see the dynamics of these characters personified and actually given a background and played out, and what in modern day times. That can be fun, that can be interesting, so that's why I'm suggesting it. So it's not a thing to if you want to scrutinize it, but I don't watch it to sit there and say, see, that's why I don't believe in the Bible. That's why I'm not Christian. Like, I don't look at it like that. I look at the stories that develop and I get into it. I really actually just love the show. I love the actor that plays Lucifer. I think he's super talented and he's incredibly attractive, and that's always fun to look at. So I don't look at the show just to like criticize it and think negatively about religion. I just enjoy the stories. I look at it as yet another path in mythology, and you're giving me a story to watch and to consume that kind of just feeds into my wanting to learn more about mythology and actually being entertained by it. So you say, oh, so you study her, Lilith. You study her, and her story is fantastic. Oh, nice. Lilith never gets her flowers. She's usually misrepresented. Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, you agree exactly. Yeah, she is. Like I said, talking about again on Netflix, the chilling adventures of Sabrina. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That one. They really made her just seem so, I don't like, she was in an abusive relationship with the devil and he was just a jerk to her, and she just kept coming back for more. Like, she couldn't get enough. Like, she just was like, I'm like, you're a powerful witch. You are the witches of all witches. Like, why can't you see that he's like a class A jerk and you don't have to do everything that he says? You're powerful. You should be worshipped. Like, and then if you watch Sabrina, they did start worshiping her for a minute, getting into her, and then it took another turn. But I didn't like how they made her character. Like, she was so needy to him, and she was willing to like debase herself and do all these things just because she thought he would love her. He would do these things for her. He would finally see her as his queen. And if you watch it, in fact, he did not. He was just a jerk. He wanted to actually, did he want to marry Sabrina? I think yeah, that's his daughter, but he wanted to still, I think, make her the queen. I don't know. I don't remember that. If you go into Sumerian mythology, Lilith is there too, or the archetype. Now, I did, when I homeschooled the kids, we did do a study on Sumerian mythology. They really enjoyed that, reading about that around the creation story specifically. When I homeschooled, we did, if you're familiar, I'm about to go on a tangent here, if you know what I'm talking about, or if you're interested, there's we took what we call a classical approach That was our methodology to homeschooling. If you're homeschooling your kids, usually you have some sort of method of doing it. Some people use Montessori, if you know what I'm talking about. So for us, we did a classical approach where it did involve some Greek mythology, but I tweaked my approach because we are of African descent, and I wanted to make sure I had pre-colonial African history and things like that. Classical approach is sort of taking your homeschooling, and when you deliver it, it's kind of like you're delivering the same thing, but you're increasing the amount of knowledge and information for the child to learn based on, their age. So for the first, or grades, so from like kindergarten to a certain point, you start with the ancient history, and your maths and all that sort of go around. So, if I'm starting kindergarten and I'm talking about ancient history, Sumerian, I would tell like a little kid version of stories of Sumerian myths and things like that. And then, we would talk about blocks and rudimentary type math and all that sort of stuff. It's a whole thing. Like I said, I can go on a tangent. I don't talk about it a lot, but I sort of I used to love developing the curriculum for the year. For each of my kids, it was custom made. I would spend months developing it per child and gathering the resources. And I had an entire well-planned curriculum planned out. It was always a lot more work. I never ran out of work. We didn't always get through it all because life, people got sick, kids got stomach aches and doctor's appointments, and there's a homeschooling event that we want to go to, or field trip, or we just don't feel like doing school today. We didn't have a lot of those days because I was I'm a little type A about that sort of stuff. So no. And you said that's crap, Lilith would never. No, she would never. You talking about Sabrina? No, she would never be so weak. She's so weak. And I love the actress, by the way, that they got to play Lilith in Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I really liked her. I like the actress. I just didn't appreciate how they wrote that character. I was like, man, they make Lilith sound so weak and girl, get it together. You in this toxic relationship with Satan. Come on now. You see that he is no good. He keeps showing you time and time again he's never going to value you. He's never going to make you his queen, aka his wife. Let it go. Move on. Sounds familiar. Current day situations, right? He's sticking around because he was nice in the beginning. He's a narcissist. He's not going to, want to... he love bombed her in the beginning, and she's never going to get that back. She wouldn't be tamed by any man. Ask Adam. Exactly. So it was tough watching that. When the way they did her character, and again, switching back to True Blood, her as a vampire, now it's first she come across as a goddess and awesome and powerful. And then you realize, wait, is she just evil? And again, making her evil. I don't know. Why is she always just so less than whenever we do introduce her into something? I can't think of any series or movie that did Lilith justice. Is always in such a negative vibe around her or something. I don't know. I don't like it when it comes to that. But back to Lucifer. It kind of makes you think about, the devil, and if you're a deep thinker, and, if you are someone who does practices Christianity, should you be watching this? Is it really glorifying, this very real thing you believe in? I think if you have those sort of questions, and if you really feel it's a conflict in your heart, more power to you. I understand why you might not want that energy in your home and around you. It might not appeal to you, even if you are practicing witch. There are Christian witches. Again, it's not my deal. I'm not, gonna speak negatively on it. However, I don't really fully comprehend it for myself, but I know they exist. So, don't watch it. Maybe you won't enjoy it because it's playing with themes that it might upset you. if it feels very real to you, these themes, if it's very real, and you have ideas about Lucifer, the devil, existing in a way similar to, I guess, like the Little Nas X video, and he can, mutate himself or transform himself into an attractive man to lure and seduce people. If you truly believe that that's a thing, and yeah, you might not want to watch the show because you're not going to like the idea that he's becoming vulnerable and humanized. But what I would just say is, if you do believe that sort of stuff, then he was a fallen angel. If you're buying into the whole thing, right? And he was a fallen angel. If he's a fallen angel, that means he was just like a regular angel. He did love God and he did follow the commands and do all that sort of stuff, right? So he has the capability of being able to do all of that. There was a disagreement with God. He didn't follow God's will or what have you, and he was cast out. So it doesn't mean he doesn't know how to connect and do all that sort of stuff with people, and understand human emotions and all that sort of stuff. I think that the show kind of explores that a little bit, and kind of makes you, there are times throughout the seasons where it kind of challenges those who really believe 100% in the idea of a devil. It to me, it kind of challenges you to think, well, let's stay on that. If he was, before he was fallen and he was capable of all this good and love and all that sort of stuff, that didn't go away just because he was fallen. Just something to think about. I was trying to do a little bit more of Christian lore. I went to history.com. I'm not going to go to no Bible and open it up. I went to history.com and I was looking for information about the devil, about Lucifer. And I was thinking about like the devil and other religions. So this is an excerpt taken from the history.com. So most other religions and cultures teach of an evil being who roams the earth, wreaking havoc and fighting against the forces of good. So in Islam, the devil is known as Shaitan, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And like the devil in Christianity, is also thought to have rebelled against God, so similar. And in Judaism, Satan is a verb and generally refers to a difficulty or temptation to overcome instead of a literal being. Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah. And in Buddhism, Mara is the demon that tempted Buddha away from his path of enlightenment. Like Christianity's Jesus resisted the devil, Buddha also resisted temptation and defeated Mara. Now, yeah, there's that. So that's what they're talking about as far as, yeah, in people of almost any religion, or even in those who don't follow a religion, the devil's almost always synonymous with fear, punishment, negativity, and immorality. Interesting. But yeah, so this is from the history.com. I like to give a little something more to it besides just the TV show and those aspects, although that's fun enough to talk about. But yeah, the devil and different religions. But yeah, I guess for me, if I was to ever be receptive to the concept of the devil, which I'm not really, well, not except for in the universe that is Lucifer on Netflix, the Judaism, that one where it's more of a verb. I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know a lot about the Jewish faith and how they practice and things like that. I don't know, but I do. That's interesting. I never really thought about it. Now that I'm sitting here reading this, that it's more of a verb and generally refers to a difficulty or a temptation to overcome. That's very interesting, instead of a literal being. And I remember somebody was telling me that within the Bible, they don't really talk a lot about the devil and Lucifer and hell specifically and all that. I don't know. I was doing a quick search, but I was getting conflicting information, and I don't care that much. I want to go down that road There are 35 references to Satan in the New Testament and 0 in the Old. Boom. Thank you for that, T Gucci. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, and I remember having a conversation with somebody, and they are very much into, or at least they represent themselves to be Christian, and understanding of scripture. So they had said to me that the Old Testament we is not to be followed anymore. That's the New Testament was written. And she referenced some quote, I don't know, or I call them quotes scripture, to back up that something about Peter. I don't remember. And the point is, she had said that, and I was thinking, well, then why do you have it? Why don't you just make the Bible with just the New Testament, not the Old? When again, part of my homeschooling, when we were talking about the pharaohs, ancient history, and we were on a part where we were talking about like ancient Egypt and things like that. I did have the kids read within the Old Testament certain things, because we were talking about like whether the Great Flood really happened and comparing it to other cultures and other religion. I was a fun homeschool mom. Let's get into the nitty gritty stuff. I was learning, and I enjoy doing this too, by the way. But anyway, yeah, we were getting into this subject about just basically fact finding and coming to our own theories and seeing what science has to say about evidence of a great flood. And we did reference the Bible because there's stories about that, and it was in the Old Testament specifically. But being like my daughter, for instance, being who she is, she read a little bit more because she was curious about a lot of things people were saying. And the Old Testament is no joke. That's your fire brimstone type God, and like he's like he goes in. And if you are not reading that regularly, and you do read it, and you're reading it more from a scholarly point of view, academic point of view, it hits different. It's just a little different. But we were looking at it for the purposes of, hey, this is a culture, this is something that was written, supposedly referencing that time. Let's see if it, holds up with these other theories and cultures, writings and things like that from ancient history. So you said it's interesting considering how big the Bible is and how much he is not mentioned. Valid. As a witch and coming from Christianity, to read the Bible with new eyes has been enlightening, right? And she said, okay, so LOL, that's because the rules are all in the OT, Original Testament, and the New Testament is written almost 300 years after Christ. All the magic is in the OT, in the original, or Old Testament, excuse me. I'm saying the original. That's the one where, where and to me, I feel like generationally speaking, like my grandmom's generation, like they had access to the New Testament, but they like seem to favor a lot from the Old Testament. Like older folk, I noticed they reference that more often, and I think like your more modern day Christian tend to focus a lot more on the New Testament, especially like your mega churches. Those, and if you get like in certain, regions, let's say like the Deep South, I feel like there's more of a focus going to be on the Old Testament than, let's say, the New, because my observations. But yeah, that is interesting. There are 35 references to Satan in the New Testament, but 0 in the Old. And I know I read somewhere, and forgive me if I don't have all the facts about Dante's Inferno. You remember that they made us read that in school? Dante's Inferno, like the levels of hell. How that framed a lot of kind of the thoughts on hell as well. That we believe today. So now you have a public who watches Lil Nas X video and his interpretation, or the person who did the video, created the video, directors and producers and all that sort of stuff, and the creatives behind that, they all got together and they were able to create this video, and people saw that and they're like, that's really hell. You shouldn't play with that. That's not okay. And it's like, so what makes you think that's when earlier when I was saying that's like you literally believe that's what it looks like? But why would they think that? I'm one of those people I like to kind of like peel back and explore. Why would they think that? Why would they think that's the real one? And not saying, I'm not criticizing them. I'm just wondering, I'm a curious person. So the reason they think that is because a lot of it has to do with the influence of, artists and things like that would draw or not draw, paint things, and give stories, and it gave way to this collective imagination of about what hell is. But when I say collective imagination and like an accepted idea of what hell is, I think if you do that collectively, if we all create a reality, a plane, we're basically making a plane of existence. So if you die and you really believe it, I mean, I think it's possible that you literally are creating your own hell because you believed in it so strongly. I mean, I've been around people who talk like that, oh, I know I'm going to hell when I die. Like, I don't hear a lot of women say that. It was like when I was a kid, like preteen, teenage years, where I was living. I remember hearing somebody saying, I heard more than one person saying, but somebody in particular, he was like, oh, I know I'm going to hell. The way I live, I know it. But he meant it. Like, he wasn't just saying that matter of fact. He truly, I know that man believed that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, there's a couple schools of thought on that, but I do believe that if you believe strongly enough in the collective energy creates this, if you believe in law of attraction, if you believe that you can create this sort of stuff, then these people really are. Yeah, I think they might be going to hell. Now, why it doesn't work when in reverse, if you say, because I'm on here and I'm talking about witchcraft and I do all this stuff, that I'm going to go to hell. Yes, it does matter that I don't actually participate in the collective imaginations of hell. Yeah, there's that. That's a big part, by the way. And I have my own collective, if you're Wiccan, there's like, what is it, Summerlin? Most of us pagans in general, we believe in some sort of ancestral realm that we go to. So there's our collective imaginations about that. So if it can exist over here, it can exist over here too, as above, so below, all that sort of stuff. So, don't be foolish enough to believe that it only works with these group of people and not these group of people. And then, you can have your own will, your own intent, and whatever's driving you to believe that is your inevitable outcome, whatever, in the afterlife. You might have ideas and theories and visions about that, and you carry it with you and you hold it dearly. So when you move on, that's where you go, because that's what you see. And if you don't see anything and you're terrified, I'm doing a video a little bit about this. It'll be coming up on Monday. But if you're like terrified of everything and you never think about it, and you think, what if it's just nothingness, and you're constantly thinking about death being nothingness, maybe that's your reality when you pass on, nothingness. I don't know. It's on my heart. People say that spirit told me to tell you, so I'm going to say that. The universe, spirit. I laugh and smile, but I do believe it's something I've kind of been hammering in, and I think it's a point that I need to kind of keep going with, because I feel like people really struggle with death and all that's around it. Their own immortality and accepting it and really thinking about it. Because if you don't want to think about that, you don't want to think about really what happens after you die, afterlife and all that sort of stuff. Not you or anybody else. It's hard for you to see that. So I think if you're a practitioner, you need to make yourself think about it, journal about it, talk to somebody else, somebody who's a good listener, so you can just bounce your ideas off of. A good listener is going to hear you. They're going to let you talk. They're going to hear you. But when a time comes for them to kind of weigh in, they'll pick up threads, and they'll hear it And, they maybe give you pointers on, hey, you said this thing like twice or three times. So maybe it's really about this. Maybe that's why you're really afraid to think about that, because it's about, the cat that died when you were 5 and the way it was handled, or the goldfish that died when you were, a little kid, and how your family maybe handled that. And you just never really got like back kind of on track with having reconciliation about death because of that. Or, you lost somebody really important to you, and you don't want to think about it. Or you just have a literal fear of death. So Monday, if you're interested in hearing more about that, I'm going to talk more. I'm going to post that video. It's scheduled to post on Monday. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I kind of went a lot of different stuff, but come on. I was going to talk about Lucifer. I had no choice but to talk about sort of this other stuff. This box is the bee's knees. I like this month's box. I am looking forward to trying this. I'm going to get that next. I'm going to think about what I'm putting in this bag. I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking crystals, and I keep touching it real crazy. But anyway, I think I'm going to put crystals in it maybe. I like the idea of doing that because, like, then, I don't know, I can rub energy, and it's like a visual representation of that. That's good, for the mind, the rational mind, and, your mind's eye, your overall witchy sense. Like, sometimes they can all meet, and you can be very powerful when there's a visual representation of all the stuff that you're doing. That could be pretty cool, by the way. So I think I might put some crystals in here. I don't know. Crystals, or some sort of, I don't know, something magical. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it a little bit more. This is pretty awesome. So dig this. Definitely good to set up on my altar. I missed the unboxing, so I'll have to rewatch from the beginning. Yes, please do, because this is a good one. This box, I'll probably say that every time, right? These oracle cards, it's 6 that came with it. Pretty cool. And like I said, it's dirty rose chai. And you can put that, somebody's actually going to be using, the Princess Diary is going to use it on her candles, to dress her candles. But the directions are to add up to 1 teaspoon to your choice of tea, latte, juice, smoothie, or plant-based meal. It's vegan, so that's awesome. 100% vegan. And then there's red rose petals. Per the card that came with it, these are consumable, so that's pretty cool if you want to do that. Or, dress your candle with this as well. You said it'll be great as a crystal bag, right? That's what I was thinking. That's what came to my mind. This oil, I can't wait to try. This is a facial oil, but you can use it as a anointing oil for your candles. I'm looking here. It says a revitalizing, sensual, botanical oil serum designed to nourish, hydrate, beautify, and revive all skin types, alchemically formulated with luxurious plant oils to make skin look brighter instantly, and over time gently massage into freshly cleansed face, neck, morning and night. So there you go. So that's the oil, and it smells really nice. And then finally, it was the tea strainer for me. So this is the tea strainer. And I think this is really pretty and cool. So it's got like little crystals and cutouts of the moon, stars, and hearts on it. I like this actually a lot. So loose leaf teas is something I've tried. I actually have. My son got me something, I think, for like Mother's Day or Christmas or something, for me to do the loose leaf teas. And it's a nice little like teapot thing, and it looks like that. But this is really cool because you can put this right over your cup. And I have a really big mug, so that'll work out really nicely. All right, so that is pretty much it for what I had to talk about. It is an amazing box. Right? This is cool. And I don't think it's like super expensive for the quality that you're getting. I don't know what it's like to buy these things individually, because I've never done that, but from that store. But like somebody could sell oils really, they could get pricey. Some oils are, and like the pyramid alone, The Black Obsidian Pyramid, that could get pricey too. So I don't know. I think it's a good box. I like it. And now that I've talked about it, I can't wait to use it. All right. So thank you guys for coming in and for watching it. For this live, I appreciate you all for coming and hanging out with me talking about this sort of stuff. So you'll notice a lot of the witchy reviews, some things will have like products, but I don't want to get into a thing where I'm just buying things for the sake of buying them and I'm not using them. I'm not really, it's just something for the video, or, to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to actually use the things that I buy. So I switch up. Not sometimes it's like a series, Lucifer, or a movie. Eventually I'm going to branch out into some other stuff too, maybe a YouTube channel or something like that. And I'll just really kind of talk about it with my review. Books, as always. Yeah. And, I don't always want to be buying something and just for the sake of buying. So the face oil is $68. The total box is $33, right? Definitely worth it. Yeah, $68 for that face oil. Oh my gosh. Well, that's good to know in case I need to replace it. So it's going to be pricey. But yeah, the whole box is $33. That's a good deal. It's a monthly subscription box. That's it. They're not charging you for additional like shipping when they send it or anything like that. So I think it's a really good deal. Thank you. I will enjoy my weekend. You too. Everybody, please enjoy the rest of your weekend. And again, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Bye-bye.